with me. There was a wonderful event organized last weekend or 2 weeks ago in Denver called the Kong Off 2 by a gentleman named Richie Knuckles, who also, him and his partner Jordan, purchased Twin Galaxies. So that's a new thing that they took over Twin Galaxies. They created an event with the top 12 Donkey Kong players in the world came out there. And I was one of the, how do I say, I don't want to use the word VIP, but one of the old timers that they invited to come out there and be part of the event.
You're a legend. One of the legends.
And I brought my 11-year-old with me, David, and he did really good. I mean, he was smoking the adults in this game, Pac-Man Royale, which is kind of a newer game. So I like that, and plus I'm very excited about showing my family that my venture, at least what I'm doing now with this video game auction site, is something that is. It's not living in the past. I believe that you can leverage your past, but you shouldn't live in your past.
Okay, see how he worked his way to the plug here?
Yeah, no doubt.
Well, no, I am interested in this. So the
but that's
IVGAH.com. Now, it's not just what I thought it was would be a portal to, if I want to stand up Pac-Man, I could find one there.
No. If you want to stand up Pac-Man, you can go on eBay or Craigslist or places like that would sell that. What this is designed for is a specialized area for video game memorabilia. The reason was because a couple of months ago, Walter Day, the founder of Twin Galaxies, I had donated my medal from That's Incredible when I had won that to him many years ago, and I said, look, if you make a museum or something, just do something good with it. And he came back to me and said, Ben, I was thinking of selling your medal for $15,000. And I said to him, I go, are you serious? I thought that thing was worth maybe $50. And so I said, well, great. If you're going to sell it, it's a one-of-a-kind item. Tell me the high-end video game auction site that exists where I can sell it. And he said, it doesn't exist. And I said, you mean for people that have super rare stuff like one-of-a-kind cabinets or cartridges that are rare or stuff from the players, signed trophies, or from the developers, their prototypes. There's no place to go that specializes in those kinds of objects. And he said no. And I said, okay, well, I'm going to create a site because I know a lot about memorabilia. My family's been doing that for 40 years. Comics, baseball cards, stuff like that. I said, I know how that works. And it's part-time. I've got a wonderful full-time job. And I was able to put this website together. And our first auction is going to be on the 8th of December. And I'm accepting for another week submissions from people that have rare merchandise, and the goal is to become the marketplace for that merchandise.
Okay, cool. So what is on your first auction?
One of the marquee items is Walter Day's jersey. So the one that he actually had
in the movie.
In the movie, and that he also was portrayed by a Disney character in Wreck-It Ralph called Mr. Litwack. So if you look there,
you've referenced that movie twice now, haven't you?
Yeah, because it's a really big thing. Because it's basically it brought the modern games together. It's a really cool movie, and it got a lot of buzz. And so, the Walter Day uniform is starting at $5,000, and it's a one of a kind. This is Walter's retiring, and this is his referee outfit.
All right.
Well, look, there's a rare 1981 Atari Centipede poster, partial nudity.
Yeah, that was an interesting one because Atari is usually family friendly, and here you got this poster that was probably used for bars and stuff, And the thing is that it's in near mint condition, so usually they get tack holes through it and stuff like that. So a lot of these posters were not preserved.
Oh, I didn't even notice. Okay, I did see a little partial nudity. I might bid on this thing.
I always wonder about our kids now and I suppose every generation does this, but they wonder about the sensory overload just because. You started small. I would imagine the first time you saw a video game, it was Pong at the pizza place. And then when they came out with Space Invaders, it blew your mind. And now if you go look at Space Invaders, you're like, this is the most basic, boring thing I've ever seen.
And I showed it to my son. I'm going, this is the game that got me on.
And what did he say?
I have a little, just a one controller game where you can plug the cord into the back of your TV, and it has like 10 Intellivision games on it, if you ever had Intellivision. I don't know. I was into Intellivision football.
Right.
And now my kids play it, and, they started with Wii, and then I hand them the Intellivision and say, in my old creaky voice that, you know, in my day,
They like it?
they like it because they like.
In my day, we had this one controller where the basketball was a square, and you had to shoot it into the round goal.
But is that
it was
better,
fun.
or?
Yeah, it was fun.
Because when I'd hear an old say that, I'd be like, whatever.
Well, you know, it's funny. When I was at a garage sale about 3 years ago, and there was a typewriter, and I sat there, and my son was with me, and I said, "Do you know what that is?" And he's like, "I have no idea what that typewriter is." And I'm like,
What is the paper print?
"Yeah."
Yeah, you can say, oh, okay, where's the printer? No, this is a typewriter, dummy.
And
But not your kid.
yeah, I thought it was huge. When I went to college, I had a typewriter that had some kind of computer chip in it that you could actually save your work right there, and then you'd stick in the paper and it would print it all out. And I thought that was the most.
Well, that was
Word
amazing.
processor, yes.
Is that what you would call that?
The word processor,
Okay.
yes.
Or it would type if you just wanted to type. But yeah, it's. We're old people on the radio, aren't
But I
we?
love it. I wouldn't have it any other way, right?
I mean, you feel like you appreciate things more, but again, I'm saying our parents said the same thing to us, that they appreciate things more than we did because we had everything handed to us. Look at you and your Pac-Man. You know?
Especially my parents. Look at you with your freedom.
Whoa, dude.
Well,
I don't think you're that old.
now, Dan, I was going to
Your
say,
parents are free.
being in the memorabilia business, a big part of it is that people are very much about their childhood, and if it's a comic book of Spider-Man or a Donkey Kong cabinet or something like that, that's what reminds people of their childhood and why now they got money, they pay for that stuff.
Yeah, like
I'm telling you,
your favorite movies are probably what you saw in your junior high and high school
Probably
years.
so, because
right?
they had-
And
Yeah.
they will remain that forever.
because you were at that age where you're wowed by everything. Like when I saw that sit down Miss Pac-Man and Gallagher Chris Madrid's in San Antonio, I had to go get changed to go play it because that's what it was all about.
We got
Had
a
to. I need one, Ben. I'm getting a sit down.
just throwing out free
Video
plugs. Tom got a call off the air saying somebody said the Kung Fu Saloon in Dallas
in
is
Uptown.
kind of
Yeah.
a little haven for the guy who owns that. Must be a
I
video game
did
freak.
not know that. It's right there on Cedar Springs, man. I'm going.
I'll take a look.
I'm going. That's when I go on a date.
Go in there and
Go on a date?
Yeah, you and I, Ben.
you guys have
Okay.
been out
We already
before,
went to
haven't
Six
you?
Flags. Yeah, it'll be our second date.
Did we ever find the audio of Donovan and Ben Gold on what is it called? The Texas Giant?
Texas Giant,
Yeah.
the new Texas Giant.
Did you find that odd when we called you out of the blue, Ben? And hey,
Yes, and you had me go down that 1,000-foot, 90-degree slide thing when I told you I was afraid of heights. That was great.
And what was the point? In the end,
We just,
what was the point?
I don't know, but it was.
It was
awesome.
fun.
I'm
We don't
going
want to
Six
send just
Flags
Donovan. Donovan, will you go with Ben Gold, video game
Heck
legend,
yeah.
friend of the show?
Of course. And then you have to throw in the Ice Girls, of course.
So, did you say there was some kind of a deadline by next Thursday for something with this auction?
For submission. So I'm accepting items for Thursday, and then the way it works is that on Saturday night, on the 8th, I'm going to start all the items at the same time, and they end 1 week later. So that's kind of more of a high-end auction where there'll be one auction for all the items at the same time.
All right, if this is your thing, then check it out online. It's ivgah.com. The great Ben Gold. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming
Always a
out.
pleasure seeing you, Ben.
$250 on the ticket.
When you hear Sports Radio